Hey there, it's time for another lesson. And the lesson in this video is to be a late follower. What do I mean? React is a tool that's constantly evolving. No program, no software, no library is ever perfect. So the community is constantly improving it. Right now, React's version is 16.8. But by the time you watch this video, most likely it's going to be higher and higher, because it's constantly improving. You have things like React hooks that were recently added. We're going to have suspense, concurrency mode in React. There's things like React Fire, React Fiber. A lot of planned updates that are coming. And sometimes it can be overwhelming to keep up with everything. And this is my advice to you. Usually what happens when something gets announced is that people get really excited and they start using it right away in their project. The problem is that sometimes developers don't get it right the first time. It takes some time to develop best practices. Sometimes maybe the API isn't good enough, so they decide to change some things. Because of this, when you're looking at React for your project, you want to make sure that you do things that aren't going to change. Ideally, your project can last a long time. If you're adding the latest features, what's going to happen is most likely a year down the road, somebody realizes that there's a better way of doing it. So take your time. If something's new, learn about it, get excited about it. But be cautious that just assuming that it's the best way to do something is not always the case. Usually, you want to give it a bit of time. Somewhere around a year until the community settles on best practices. If you were at the beginning when React got started, I remember people were doing things that, just doesn't exist anymore. People were building components in ways that actually doesn't exist anymore. So all those people had to update their code base because of these changes that were coming. I remember working at a company in Silicon Valley, and we implemented the latest version of React Router. And unfortunately, it was not well documented because it was so new. So we had to spend a really long time waiting for the API to settle before we had a working product because we chose to do something that, was at the very cutting edge. So be a late follower. You don't want to be the first one to try out something. Sometimes it's good to be behind the early adopters.